Texas is famous for a lot of things. Nocona, Texas is famous for being the leather capital of the Southwest and the home of Fenoglio Boot Company.
We've been making boots in Nocona, Texas for as long as there's been cowboy boots. Everybody that grew up in this area takes a lot of pride in the leatherworking of this town.
Nobody understands a cowboy boot like a Texan.
There's no reason we can't make the best cowboy boot out there.
Here at Fenoglio Boot, we don't take any shortcuts. That's one of the biggest things we pride our company on, is we want the cowboy boot that's traditionally made in Texas, made by Texans, right here where it all started.
Today we're going to build a Fenoglio boot. We're going to build it the right way, the traditional way. All the way from selecting the leather and cutting it by hand, to finishing the leather, boxing it, and shipping it out the door.
I'm a third-generation boot maker. I've been around it my entire life. I worked in every position in the factory. At Fenoglio Boot Company, we really are keeping the tradition of boot making alive.
From the time we receive an order, whether it be a large order or the one customized pair we make for you, it starts with a production ticket.
After the customer orders the boot, it comes to us out in the factory. We take it to our first step, issuing. Our exotic skins and even our traditional skins are hand-selected and brought in from all over the world. We deal in genuine article leather. It's all the real deal.
When you're buying a Fenoglio boot, there's a couple of things that you can come to expect in every pair you pick up. You'll have the full leather construction of the boot. There will be nothing that's synthetic. That translates into a better wearing boot.
A lot of customers, we try to let them really personalize their boot, really pick out something that they're really going to love. You know, we want these people to show their boots off and be proud of where they came from and the job we've done. Sean gathers up the leathers that we need that's listed on the ticket, puts them into a tub, takes it over to the cutters. They cut the boots out with what are called clicker machines. They cut out all the pieces that are needed for the boot. We have a history of about 150 years of boot making knowledge that gets to be passed down to the next generation. There were great people that worked for Nocona Boot that I grew up knowing. They were quite characters, you know, but they were really craftsmen. I've got a lady that works for me that runs the whole fitting and stitching departments, that she actually went to work for the boot company the month I was born. She must love it. You couldn't do something for 39 years if you don't really have a passion for it.
My name is Darcy Reeves. The boots leave the cutting department and they come straight to my area. I love seeing it whenever the new patterns, especially some of the brands that we put on stuff, that when they turn out and look really good, or when we have picked out colors in it, just looks so nice on that certain piece of leather. On this Fenoglio boot that we are starting, we use the 1510 style number, which is an original that nobody else has seen.
Once it flows through the fitting area, it comes into the side seaming area. We turn it right side out. Just before lasting and after it's been rubbed and turned, we sew on the pull straps.
It goes back to quality, completely quality. You can look at my boots and you can't tell much about it, but when you pick one of them up or you wear one of them and you look and see all the work that went in, it just makes you proud to be able to produce something like that.
Then it goes to lasting, where we form the boot around the last. It's anchored to the last through the insole with some nails. The boot is heel seated, so the heel of the boot takes its shape around the last and over the insole. Then they get to sit there and dry out, so that boot makes sure it retains the shape and form of the last we've put it around.
The people that work for Fenoglio Boot Company are true craftsmen that believe in what they're doing and have spent their lifetime of building cowboy boots.
The next day, we will pick up there at heel seating and the boots get inseamed. That's really something that we are proud to do. We actually inseam our boots. A lot of them are flat lasted, so that outsole is just glued on there. Ours is not. We sew through the welt, through the leather, through the insole, so that boot is not just glued together, it is stitched.
One of our biggest goals is to offer this boot that is 100% man-made with great materials at an affordable price, so that cowboys and ranchers and guys that like us that rope, have cows, and go out dancing can enjoy this product and not set aside a large amount of money to enjoy a great product that's made in Texas.
We changed some of the processes. We actually went less automated in some areas. That way the hands-on and the handcrafted part of that boot came back. We just take a little more time and put a little more quality and a lot of heart and soul into it. Not to put down what was done before, but I just think we took it to the next level. Sole stitching is one of our main ones. The boot is sewn with a lock stitch. It cuts a groove in the leather of the outsole so that stitch is buried down in there so you don't wear it out as fast.
With Fenoglio, every time you put that boot on, it's going to be a perfect fit. Some of the materials that we don't skip are your lemon wood pegging. It's a very traditional way of making a boot.
The Fenoglio boot line, we're really getting back to old school, back to basics, back to how boots were made and how, in my opinion, they should be made. What's cool about the lemon wood pegs is it takes a lot longer to do, but that boot's really going to hold together. If you wear that boot out in the weather, in the snow or the mud or the rain, the wood's not going to corrode and rust the way a regular nail would. Then we actually do finally attach the heel to it. And that's one area that really has stepped up quality in our boots. The outsole attaching and the heel attaching, those nails interlocking, is a step that not everyone does that really ensures that the boot hangs together and holds up to whatever you throw at it. So if you go in after you've been working hard and you just want to kick your boots off and you use your foot to do it, that outsole and the heel, they're going to be stayed on there. It's not just going to come apart on you.
When you put that boot on, it'll be what you come to expect when you put on a $1,000 custom boot. Everything will be there, everything will fit well.
And the boot moves into the finishing area. In this area, it becomes extremely crucial to make sure that this boot looks as good as possible. So every step from the inking and the boot washing is very important. But the main purpose of that, really and truly, is to keep water and mud and stuff from absorbing into the outsole. So we stamp the Fenoglio logo on the bottom of the outsole. We also condition each and every boot before it goes out the door. Then we steam all of the boot tops in a boot steamer. We tree the boots, which irons them from the inside out, makes the top stand up nice and pretty. And then it goes to inspection, where we do just that. We inspect each and every boot that goes out the door. We look for any small flaw or anything that we can fix. Once it passes inspection, it goes to the boxing area. We make sure that everything's correct with the boot once more, and we put it in the box and pray somebody loves them.
I am proud to make Fenoglio boots.
It's a pleasure to walk through the factory and see these people working.
It's just something I'm really proud to do.
Keeping boot making alive in Nocona, there is so much history here, and to have a Fenoglio boot that is made with pride, that says it even more.
We kept the best boot makers that know how to make a quality boot.
Every boot that leaves our factory is inspected 3 or 4 times. We care because it has our family name on it.
I was determined that boot making would stay alive and well under me, as it did with my father and my grandfather before me.
There's nothing finer than a Fenoglio boot.